Hello everyone, welcome to our presentation. Our topic is comparative analysis of informal vendors around stations through a sustainable livelihood framework, a study of Dhaka Metro Rail. I am Saida Rizwana and my co-authors are Tahmina Rahman and SM Ihsanul Haq Shaheen. This topic is divided into 7 sections for discussion. Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh, has been growing, expanding, undergoing radical changes since the last 400 years. The growth is seen not just in spatial expansion of the city, but in terms of physical, economical, social structures as well. As the city expanded, it brought in diverse amount of people from different backgrounds. Multiple factors together have led to the urbanization of the city. The introduction of Dhaka Metro Rail, designed to ease traffic congestion and improve public transport efficiency, has reshaped urban mobility patterns and intensified activity around these hubs. This topic focuses on two major commercial zones, Farmgate and Mirpur. Farmgate, vital commercial and transportation hub, it serves as a crucial node connecting various parts of the city. It hosts numerous educational institutions, government offices, retail markets, as well as residential blocks, characterized by intense pedestrian and vehicular activity with a significant presence of street hawkers. If you look closely, it's a one-way road with several bus stoppages. It also has exit of the elevated expressway, as well as the entry and exit of the MRT stair and bridge. Therefore, it has a heavy flow of pedestrian and vehicular movements. Mirpur 10 is a key residential and commercial node in the northwestern part of Dhaka. It serves as a crucial stop on MRT Line 6 and functions as a sub-center that connects different sectors of Mirpur with the rest of the city. The area is characterized by a mix of planned residential blocks and organically grown commercial strips. Its central roundabout is a prominent landmark and often congested and teeming with both vehicular and pedestrian movement. If you look closely, it's a four-way junction. It has several bus stoppages. The footover bridge connects all the pedestrian routes. There is also a MRT station. Therefore, there's a heavy pedestrian and vehicular movements. A street vendor is broadly defined as a person who offers goods for sale to the public without having a permanent built-up structure from which to sell. Street vendors may be stationary in the sense that they occupy space on the pavements or other public or private spaces, or they may be mobile in the sense they move from place to place by carrying their wares on pushcarts or in baskets or on their heads. If you see in this picture, it can be seen how the street vendors are occupying the streets just beside the metro station entry. The study of how MRT affects the livelihood of vendors have not been explored yet, and this research investigates how station locations affects vendors' access to livelihood, assets, strategies, and outcomes. The findings offer insight to policies aimed at fostering sustainable livelihoods and promoting inclusive urban development in Dhaka. The Sustainable Livelihood Framework helps to organize the factors that constrain or enhance livelihood opportunities and shows how they relate to one another. The livelihood assets are human capital, social capital, natural capital, physical capital, and financial capital. The framework does not work in a linear manner. It organizes the factors that constrain or enhance the livelihood opportunities and shows how they relate. The research outline is a mixed method approach. Now, if you look at the findings of Farmgate and Mirpur 10, first in Farmgate, we find three distinguished categories of how the vendors occupy the streets. In the first one, it can be seen that they're occupying in the pedestrian routes as well as the vehicular routes. And in second one, we can see they're occupying the vehicular roads and the service as well as there is a shop. And in the third one, where there is a MRT entrance, they leave a space for free flow of pedestrian and they occupy on the vehicular road. In Mirpur 10 and on the south of Begum Roque Avenue, the vendors occupy on both roads, occupying only one side of each pedestrian path. And just below the MRT station, they occupy both the roads and both sides of the pedestrian without leaving a gap for free flow of pedestrian movement. And on the Mirpur Road, we can see they occupy the vehicular road as well as the pedestrian routes in both sides. An overall study, males predominant among the street vendors in these areas. Due to the development of these metros, new vendors had initiated their business ventures in recent times. Even the majority, 58% of these vendors, they started their business after opening this metro station. The majority, 90% of these vendors, believe that their customer numbers increased after the opening of this metro station sales, and sales increased significantly, 90% for this. And they embrace metro station as an asset to boost the positive growth of their businesses. When asked about regulatory actions, the vendors say frequently, which is 54%, confronted with the risk of eviction or incurring penalties, and after moving their operations to a more convenient locations, they resume their business. The primary challenge they encounter were insufficient access to critical amenities and police interference. They believe that their condition will improve if they are given designated area and basic services. Now, looking at closely at the human capital, for skills in Mirpur, 100% of the vendors do not have any formal training. On the other hand, for in FarmGate, 80% lack training and only 20% had professional experience. And while asked about health issues, in Mirpur, 56% take no health precautions, only 44% wear masks. In FarmGate, 80% do not do anything, while only 20% wear masks. In asked about social capital, about the support system in both areas, most vendors rely on family, friends, or personal savings, which is 60% and 20% in FarmGate, and 48% and 52% in Mirpur 10. None of the members in Mirpur 10 belong to any association when asked. In FarmGate, 60% are not members of any association and 40% are. In natural capital, the environment challenges the vendors face in Mirpur 10 are water clogging, heat waves, and heavy rainfall, while in FarmGate, only heat waves and rainfall are major issues, suggesting that there are better drainage in FarmGate area. Weather impacts very significantly in Mirpur 10 and significantly in FarmGate. In both areas, 100% of surveyed vendors own their vending equipments. In Mirpur 10, 44% use 15 square feet of space, 40% use 20 square feet of space. In FarmGate, 25 use 15 square feet of space, and another 25% use 20 square feet for vending. For financial capital, in FarmGate, 80% reported increased sales and 20% a decrease. In Mirpur 10, all vendors reported increase in sales due to the metro. Most vendors rely on family, friends, or savings for financial support, 64% and 28% in Mirpur, 40% and 40% in FarmGate, where 20% have absolutely no support. When asked about their challenges and their improvements, competition is slightly higher in FarmGate, which is 25%, and in Mirpur 10, 20%. Police intervention is more common in Mirpur 10, which is 35%, than FarmGate, which is 20%, and the lack of amenities is also higher in Mirpur 10, which is 30% in FarmGate, and Mirpur in 25%. By relocation and item rotation in both areas, the vendors improve their business. When asked about how they can improve, what support they can get to improve their business, in both areas, they suggested designated vending zones and infrastructure improvements. To conclude, increased foot traffic. The metro station have led to a surge in pedestrian movement, potentially expanding the customer base for nearby vendors and attracting new ones. Enhanced accessibility. Improved transportation has made it easier for customers to reach vending areas as well. Inclusive urban planning. The experiences of vendors in FarmGate and Mirpur 10 underscored the need for inclusive urban planning that considered the livelihoods of informal vendors. Improvement strategies. Integrating designated vending zones and ensuring access to basic amenities can help in harmonizing the coexistence of metro infrastructure and informal economies. Thank you.